All right, hello, and welcome to this GFL game between the Arlington Raiders and the Boston Brawlers. As, of course, you can see their lineup here. Both teams hoping to get a victory today. But, of course, as we head on over to the expert picks, we can obviously tell that the Boston Brawlers are the favorite. Arlington only being selected by Mr. Danny Jugan himself, 28-9. Outside of that, the other three have the Boston Brawlers dropping 22-plus points. And, of course, the supercomputer has Boston winning with a 78% chance. So we're going to see how well this works out as we get on down to the arena. And, of course, if you are new to the GFL, every GFL team has their own home stadium, unlike the NAGA, who is always at the train depot. These GFL teams are hosted in their own little stadiums. It's an attempt to boost recognition in the areas. As the Knicks will get into a bit of a pile up there on the return at the 23. And the Brawlers will start with a 5-wide set. Trips to the right. Now they will have 4 to the right. Low man to the left. Stewart back to pass. Has all day. Drops off a comeback route for Hughes. But unfortunately for the Brawlers, that'll be a massive loss of 4. So it'll be second down and 14. Of course, you can see the defensive lineup there at the bottom of the screen. Stewart gets the hand. Ooh, all right. Little bit of confusion there. As I had about 3 different thought processes in my head there. There was a blitz from the middle, and then a late delayed blitz on the right, which wasn't even factored into the play art. So a bit of a unique decision by that player themselves. And of course, Stewart faking a handoff. The running back, I don't know what he was doing, and then threw it off out of bounds. Bit of a tongue twister there, as we are still getting back into our groove of things with announcing, at least myself, that is. As the Raiders take it back up to their own 45, and now the Raiders will get a chance to put some points on the board. Hands off to Blackburn, and Blackburn will get the first positive yardage of the day. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Of course, you can now see the defensive side for the Boston Brawlers now at the bottom of the screen there. As they will now motion the man out to the right. That is number 16. Blackburn again with a handoff. Ooh, but number 37 with the stop after a gain of 3. It'll be now 3rd and 2. Sharif now subbing in for Blackburn. Edwards subbing in for Jenkins. 5-wide set, back to pass. All the men are blocked. Ooh, he had enough yardage, but did he get up there? No. So a bit of a unique situation here as they will go for it on 4th down. I like this play call off to Blackburn, and he'll get the first down, gain of 6 yards. And that'll restart their drive. A very good call to not punt it here. Obviously, you had the first down. Bit of an issue there. Oh, my goodness. Loss of 4 is Pullman credited with the sack. McGrew just unable to get away from the defender. Blitz coming on the left side. He can't get away again. It's a loss of 10. 3rd and 24, and that's Mr. White, the linebacker. Credited with the sack there. 5 wide out now after that completed 4th down conversion. McGrew back to pass, launching a deep left. Oh, he almost had it. Could have been another miraculous drive extender. I think if they had extended that drive there, I think they for sure would have scored at least 3 points, but now they'll punt it. And that'll be right up to 30, if not a little bit more. No! All right, they're going to move it forward for some reason. Despite it being out at the 30, the refs will move it up 3 yards. There's a forced fumble, and the man gets moved out of the way, and it's Lay with the recovery. Oh my goodness, a great heads-up play by whoever that defender was for the Raiders, pushing the Brawler offensive player out of the way. McGrew back to pass, and again, you see another comeback route go for negative yardage, and there's not even a single comeback route on that play. He'd have to get 7 yards deep before he comes back, so I don't really know what's going on there. As Blackburn gets the handoff, and he'll dive forward for a gain of 7, so now it'll be 3rd and 8. At this point, you're just trying to keep some yardage for the field goal, but the Raiders want it all, so 5 wide down here. Man unblocked. Oh, my goodness. If that ball had just been thrown a bit harder, would have been an easy first down and touchdown. Jake McGrew 2 for 4, negative 2 yards. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So Arlington doing what Memphis in week 1 of the NAGA could not, put up negative passing yards and score. As the Brawlers now will get the kick return. That is Minks, number 33. Charging forward. Down at the 22. So now the Brawlers will go into a 5 wide out set. Stewart back to pass. A lot of defenders unblocked there, and Tadlock with a great catch for 31 yards. Austin Salmons subbing in for him now. All that time in the pocket, and of course, great hands by Tadlock. Stewart again with time. Oh my, whoa, Parker. Gain of 12 yards on a deflected pass. We're going to clip that one. That's definitely going to be a highlight there, as Snyder gets the handoff, charging forward for about a gain of 5. Will be taken down. Lay now subbing in for Jerome Stanley. The last time Lay was on the field, Snyder charging forward, lost it 2. Was on the field. They wound up with a fumble recovery. Minks subbing in, but they will sub him right back down as they go for 5 wide receivers back to pass. And I don't really know what was supposed to occur there. The play that they ran did not look like the play art that they drew up, so interesting play call there. And that field goal will be good. So Laquan Snyder subbing in for Mr. Minks. So now we are tied 3-3. The first quarter has still 2 minutes to go as Blackburn takes it up to the 26-yard line. Unfortunately, our highlight did not clip, so I will have to manually go in and bring that moment out. A little bit of a kind of sucks, if you ask me, but we're going to find out what that issue is. McGrew all day and then some, and number 19 is just too slow. An automatic 40-plus yard gain. And that was either number 16 or number 19, but whoever it was, oh man. Blackburn TFL loss of 5 by Fisher, and the Brawlers are pushing the Raiders back furthermore. Here we go. 4 wide receivers, 1 running back. Number 19 is in on the play. Over to the left to Love. Number 84, 32-yard catch. Big reception there as Harden will replace Adrian Love. Edwards will replace Kennebrew on the defensive side. And McGrew from negative to positive in just 1 play. Blackburn charging forward, gain of 6. And Kennebrew subs back in for Edwards. And Love subbing back in. Pitches out to Sharif. Sharif had 1 man to beat, but he's a bit too slow. 3rd and 3. As Blackbird now subs in for Sharif. Muhammad Sharif on that 1 rush. Had a chance for a first down and could not get it. But that'll be the end of the first quarter. We are tied up 3-3. And of course, 3rd and 3. As Jake McGrew back to pass. Wide open man. He threw it too far left, as well as the tight end was way too slow. So unfortunately, they will have to punt. However, at the way your defense has been able to operate, I would have gone for it. But now the Brawlers, of course, will take over. Stewart under center, hands off to Snyder. Snyder with a good bounce off the tackle, gain of 6 yards. Minks subbing in for Mr. Snyder. 2nd and 4, fakes the handoff to Minks, gonna lob it left to Salmon. And Salmon's is gonna be shy of the first down. 5 wide receiver set. Stewart off to the middle, unable to catch it. That'll be an incomplete pass. And that'll be a punt. Just a little under 9 minutes, I should say. Stewart boots this one to the 25. Blackburn's going to bring it up for about a gain of 7 yards there. From the 32 to the 32, so pretty good punt if you ask me. McGrew's going to motion the tight end, Correa, straight with the catch. Gain of 5 yards. Not to be confused with the rapper Drake, who is currently buried alive by Kendrick Lamar. As they go to a 4 wide receiver set. Motion number 81 out to the right. Blackburn, 81 with a crucial block, and he just lets the running back get blown up in the backfield. So Blackburn will not be credited with any yards on that one. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Is going to motion number 84 to the inside. That is Mr. Adrian Love. McGrew off to the left. Ooh, what a great tackle that was by Mitchell Woodworth. Darnell Weaver subbing in. And that will stop the Raiders from progressing, and they're going to try and let this one go into the end zone. But, oh, nobody's fast enough. I don't really think anyone in the GFL actually has over a B+ speed rating, so would have been interesting to see someone getting down and downing that ball, as they will lob that one off to a screen pass to Hughes with no blockers in front, and Masters will get the TFL. As the Brawlers go into a 5 wide set again. Stewart off to the left to Tadlock, gain of 3. And Robert Tadlock will sub in for Robert Tadlock. As essentially what probably just happened is they dropped down to 4 wide receivers and he subbed down, and that was a drop. Oh my goodness, a wide open catch. Tadlock definitely would have caught that one. And now the Brawlers will punt away. Blackburn with the stiff arm and the truck down at the 46. So slowly but surely the Raiders are moving every drive more and more closer to the 50-yard line. As gain of 5, that'll put them at the opponent's 49-yard line. 2nd and 5, Tavion Blackburn not doing so hot with the average, 8 of 26. As McGrew's going to hand off to Blackburn again. Blackburn, ooh, bouncing off the tackler, but not fast enough to get the first down. Lawrence being subbed out for Jacob Edwards on the defensive side. 5 wide receiver set, back to pass. McGrew over the middle to Drake, got 2 yards, and he got the first down. Javon Lawrence will now sub out for Edwards. And we go back to a 5 wide out set for the Raiders. McGrew back to pass. 4-man rush. Has protection all day. He's going to take the quick pass for a gain of 7. And Travion Blackburn will now sub in for Sharif, despite no running back being out on that play. Hand off to Blackburn. Great blocks. Great vision by Blackburn. A gain of 16 yards. 1st and 10, and Sharif will sub back in. It's possibly the longest time of possession drive so far. McGrew back to pass. Got a defender who's unblocked. Best with the touchdown. And a man who simply could have rushed the passer and avoided all of this happening. Stands still watching the quarterback. And that PAT bounces in right off the right post. So the Brawlers will have to take a look at themselves on the defensive side of things and figure out how to not do that again. As Minks with the return. Next time you have an open lane to pressure the quarterback, you probably shouldn't continue to stand in the defensive formation. You should probably rush the quarterback. Stewart pitches to Snyder. Snyder, a wide open lane. My goodness, gain of 9. Had the whole defense tricked out there. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. They will motion the tight end Parker from the inside right to the outside of the left. Stewart back to pass. 4-man rush. There's a rare penalty. And 82 is unable to come with it. Holding, so that will be an automatic first down for Boston. Jeremiah Stewart, 6 of 11 for 41 yards, but that will be the 2-minute warning. So we will no longer see any rushing plays, unless the GFL simply is built different. And they are, as Snyder rushes for 3 yards in the first 2-minute warning of today's game. But then they realize they're in the 2-minute warning, so they break out into the 5-wide set. Back to pass, 4-man rush, had a wide open number 12, it looks like, and he simply just dropped it. But, of course, the game will credit the defensive back for a deflection and not punish Newsome for a drop. And that'll be a first down by Boston on the run game. A rarity to see, even in the NAGA, a first down on a third down run in the 2-minute warning. As that pass is easily taken down. Jeremiah Stewart hovering at the 50% mark. Currently under it. He needs another completion. And wouldn't you know it, a wide open pass catch, and he cannot come down with it. So that'll be an incompletion, despite basically hitting him in the hands as Snyder off to the right. Oh my goodness, if he was just a bit faster, they could have gotten a consecutive first down run on third down in the 2-minute warning. Stewart will punt this one. And this will go out inside the 5, and they will say it went out at the 7. So these referees in Houston definitely need to take a look at themselves. Drake with an automatic catch for 17. McGrew on fire. Jaleel Drake, 4 for 4 for 20 yards. And oh my goodness, that should have been DPI, but that is all right. An engage 8 blitz. Had the defender simply missed and they layered that pass a bit more, that would have been a 76-yard touchdown. And now we're back to the normal performance of the 2-minute warning drill, and they will run this one on 3rd and 10. And up to Blackburn. Blackburn taken down after a gain of 2. And Boston now will call a timeout. Minks with the return. He'll be taken down just ahead of the 35 marker, shy of the 40 at the 39. And they're going empty backfield again. Brawlers going to motion Newsome to the inside of the left. 4-man rush has all day, and Superman number 3 over there deciding that he can quite literally fly. Jeremiah Stewart plummeting in the completion percentage. But of course, you expect that when the 2-minute warning is enabled, and that pass goes through the hands of everybody. 3rd and 10. Jeremiah Stewart looking to be the first player with a 25% completion rate today, but Snyder, the most improbable third down rush ever, gives the Brawlers a breath of air. It's 1st and 10. They're going to go 4 wide receivers and a running back. And Newsome with a great catch, gain of 18 yards, and Boston will call a timeout. At this point, you need to continue passing to kill the clock. If you drop it, go! Or get closer to the end zone, and that, once again, number 22 in at the stop there with the pass. As they go 5 wide out now. And this could be a simple field goal here. Stewart off to the right, double covered on top of the already one-on-one coverage he had. And I don't like this. They might actually run this and kill themselves. No, they're going to go for a pass. That's swatted down. So Arlington now will go and head to the locker room after this kick. Up 10 to potentially 6, so long as they can make this kick. Oh, just barely. 46-yard field goal is good. 5 seconds left. Basically, might want to just run the clock out on this return. And Blackburn will do just that, as a smart man that he is. That will send us to halftime, to which we will then immediately leave halftime. These players do not need a break. They need more talent. as this kick will go deep. So now that we are in the second half of the game, we've seen what both these teams can potentially do. At their best, Arlington can put up 20 points, and at their best, Boston can put up 12. It's not an insurmountable lead, but the way these two defenses have been performing so far, and the rate at which teams have been plucked of their offensive talent, definitely seeming like the tail end of the season is going to be who had the best defense to start and who had the most depth to start on offense. So 3rd and 13, they will go and send the running back out to... well, if you watch the running back on that play, he sent him out, but didn't give him a route. So as soon as he snapped the ball, he turned around and faced the opposite way without any attempt at blocking. So you know, bit of a unique situation there. But we continue. 5 wide set for the Brawlers. Back to pass. 3-man rush. Got a spy up. Interesting take. Hughes, gain of 7. For me personally, I don't know why you would have a spy up. The quarterback has done nothing really. 1st and 10. Maybe they get 3 yards. A lot better than them throwing for 7 right there. Stewart getting jumbled up in the mess, having to throw away, and there was a wide open double option touchdown pass. Of course, Stewart will not see that. And he will motion number 1 out. And again, no route, but Newsom with a 19-yard gain. And I think that has definitely got to be something that we look into. If my clipping program would work, Stewart back to pass. Got another spy with a 4-man rush, and Tadlock will simply fall out of bounds. That is twice now we've had running backs be sent out with no pass route, and they simply stand there looking a little dumb. Snyder rushing forward, and now it's 3rd and 6. Laquan Snyder, 10 for 51, averaging 5 yards a carry. 4 wide receivers. Stewart back to pass into, triple coverage. Almost had a touchdown pass. Would have been the most insane catch so far today. But they will settle for a field goal, as that kick is up and good. So now it is 10-9. The Brawlers crawling their way back. And the Raiders now will get a shot at putting up a score. Blackburn with the return. Taken down just shy of the 25. And they'll say he's at the 25. So these referees are definitely something else today. I don't think I've ever seen such huge discrepancies in some of the decisions. As McGrew back to pass, a jumbled mess up at the D-line, and somehow still a battered defensive line does not allow for an open secondary, which is a bit confusing. Blackburn with a crucial block on the left side by number 80. And Sharif now will sub in, so Blackburn slowly but surely getting that average back up. He actually might get to 100 yards on 20 rushes at this rate. So McGrew back to pass. 4-man rush. Late blitzer off to the right for Harden for a game 5. And Blackburn now will sub back in. Trips to the left. Number 84 to the right. They're going to hand off to Blackburn, and Blackburn with a couple of blocks, but not enough after a gain of 3. So now Blackburn, 15 for 66. He's got 5 carries to make up 34 yards. Can he do it? Not on this play, though. It's a 5-wide set. McGrew back to pass, launching that into dangerous territory, and if that had simply been lofted a little bit higher, that could have potentially been a great catch and an opportunity for a touchdown. As sure as will it. I'd say this is a touchback, but yeah, they're going to say that's a... These referees don't care who it is. At first it was for the Brawlers, but now an out-of-bounds punt, and it's considered a down at the 1. Snyder with the carry. Gain of 7 yards. I don't think these referees want to see the over today. I think they want to see the under hit. And my goodness, are they doing everything they can on this one. 2nd and 3, handoff to Snyder, forced fumble, and Maxwell is pushed in. Oh my gosh, he was stopped at the 1-yard line. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Raiders have the easiest drive of their life, and Blackburn makes a man look silly. Touchdown. 16-9. Tavion Blackburn now has 4 attempts to get 33 yards. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 17-9. So now the Brawlers are going to have to drive down the field, score a touchdown, and go for 2 just to tie the game up. As Minks with the return, and oh my goodness, number 20 didn't even block that man. He simply let number 40 get a free open tackle. 1st and 10 at the 20, handoff to Snyder. Snyder with a lot of blocks, and Snyder charging forward for a gain of 16. Jalen Minks subbing in for Snyder now. 1st and 10 at the 37. Hands off to Minks, and Minks with a couple of blocks. Not as good as Snyder's gain of 4. Now Snyder will come back in. And they will again have their back in the backfield, trips to the right, lone man to the left. They are going to motion the man 82 out to the left. Snyder with a handful of blocks. Number 40, a great open tackle right there. Had 3 different lanes to choose from, and number 40 blocked every single one of them. Stewart back to pass, lobbing it. Oh my goodness, dropped and through the hands potentially if there was only a replay system. So a promising drive for a potential touchdown, all taken away because a man does not know how did you catch that? All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Here we go. Raiders going to motion the man out to the right. It's going to be number 80. Hand off to Blackburn. Blackburn with a lane, and Blackburn gaining 10 yards on that play. 1st down. So now he's got 23 yards left in this attempt. Won't get it today. Not on this drive, at least. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Right over the middle to the wide open Drake. Gain of 12 yards. 1st and 10. 2 plays, both pass and rush, averaging 10-plus yards. A very great way to start your day. Blackburn taken down, gain of 4. So now he's going to need 20 yards on these next 2 attempts. 2nd and 6, here we go. Blackburn in the back, pitch out to Sharif. Never mind, that's not Blackburn. And, of course, the one time there could have been a wide-open touchdown run. Sharif is in there to steal the touches. Blackburn not on the field. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Back to passes McGrew. 3-man rush. We're going to throw this out of bounds for a loss of 4 for some reason. Very good play calling. And that'll be the end of the 3rd quarter. Arlington leading 17-9. Boston trailing, shockingly enough. Fakes the handoff. Play action right over. Oh, nearly intercepted. 3rd and 14, here we go. Jake McGrew was on fire, now no longer. 12 of 22 for 97 yards and a singular touchdown. As McGrew back to pass, 4-man rush. And that was dropped by the defender, a potential interception, and now they're going to go for a punt. And we're going to see where this one will go. Shores punting this one, and this will be a touchback. Raiders are not fast enough. So now Boston will try their drive again, and this time they're going to start right out the gate. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end, blitzing man up the middle. And I don't know who that was, but he was unable to know where he was supposed to be. Stewart looking for that illustrious 33% in the next 3 attempts here, apparently. Back to passes. Stewart's got time. He's going to loft it left. Oh, man. The receiver went too far left. You're supposed to cut to the inside. Oh, my goodness. All right. Stewart going to motion the man. 5 wide receivers set. 4 men to the right, 1 to the left. Back to passes. Stewart. Oh, it's dropped. 4th and 10. And now the Raiders will get another shot at extending their score. Boston really needed that first drive to score 8 to really go in their favor, and it hasn't gone that way since. Blackburn with the carry for a gain of 7. And now he needs to get 12 yards on this one attempt. Can he do it? Blackburn with a couple of key blocks, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to be 8 shy of 100 yards. So no 5.0 average for him. 1st and 10, 5 wide receivers, back to pass, 3-man rush with a spy for some reason. He's going to throw that way out to the left to number 19. Blackburn's going to sub back in. Fakes the handoff for play action. Oh my goodness, swallowed up, loss of 4, Toller. That's the first time we've seen a sack since the first half. As McGrew back to pass. McGrew's got time, got a man, and Harden, as I don't know how to read. Harden finally doing something, number 19. My goodness, Harden. It's what you get called after you drop like 6-7 passes and can't catch 6 or 7 passes because you're too slow. Blackburn with the rush forward, gain of 6, 2 yards shy of 100 yards. Edwards subbing in for Franklin. Here we go, Blackburn in the back. Hand off to Blackburn. Blackburn officially eclipses 100 yards on the day. Sharif will come in. Franklin subbing in for the defensive back, Jacob Edwards. And 5 wide receivers set. McGrew wants this touchdown stat. Back to pass. Oh my goodness, sack, loss of 9. It's going to be 2nd and goal at the 12. I think that was Toller with another sack. So McGrew back to pass. 4-man rush. Oh, DPI all day, every day, but they will not call it here. Jake McGrew at the exact 50% mark. Blackburn in the backfield. We're going to fake the handoff, lofting it to the end zone, and Harden is unable to come up with a second reception on the drive. And the Raiders will have to settle for a field goal. And the field goal is good, 29-yard outer. And that will push the lead to 11 points. So now Boston is going to have to score 8 points and a field goal just to tie this game. Minks with the return. Will be stopped at the... Oh, my goodness. Jesus. That's like 3 extra yards right there. He was down at the 21 and to the 24. My goodness, Snyder. Gain of 7 yards there. Stewart under center. Snyder in the back. Snyder cutting. Gain of 1st down and 6 yards to boot. So the Arlington Raiders are potentially going to be moving to 5-1. As Stewart back to pass has all day the entire defensive secondary on and off the field joined in for that pass deflection. Boston potentially falling to 2-4. Arlington jumping to 5-1 with the Toledo Timberwolves, the only team close enough to them as Salmons. Oh my goodness, what a key block that was for a 1st down, gain of 14 yards. Tadlock subbing back in, Snyder subbing back in. They got their full roster available. There they go. This is usually the guys that make all the plays. Snyder, oh my goodness, Snyder, gain of 9 yards. Shades of Ramon Gooden on that rushing play right there. And Snyder hits 101 yards here today. Minks in the backfield. Going to motion the man to the inside. Handoff to Minks. And thank goodness that wasn't Snyder because that was a loss of 3. Washington with the TFL. Aaron Lay subbing in for defensive back. Stanley, I think that was. I couldn't exactly see that. And oh my goodness, Newsom with the 27-yard catch. 1st and 10. Incredible. 3 for 7. Not exactly the stat you want to see, but for 64 yards. Imagine if he caught his other 4 passes. Stewart back to pass. 4-man rush with a blitzer up the middle. Salmons, gain of 7. Snyder subbing back in. Snyder to the right. That is a 2-minute warning. We may potentially see Snyder. Yep, he'll be to the right. Might see a run here. The GFL. No, we're not. It's going to be a pass. Stewart sacked. Loss of 9. Boston will waste a timeout here. I don't know why you would do that. You have all the time in the world. You could have quickly gotten back up. It would have been loss of about 5 seconds. Not too bad. Stewart to the left. Not enough air under that one. It'll be 4th and 12. And do they go for a field goal? They will. So they're banking on a defensive stop. However, the only problem here is they only have 2 timeouts. So now they're going to go for an onside kick. And this is... Holy Jesus. That ball was like 30 yards upfield when he started that kick. Yep. Onside kicks are usually unrecoverable, usually. So now Arlington hand off the ball to Blackburn. Oh my goodness, Blackburn putting them in the spin cycle. Gain of 6. Boston will call their second timeout. And Boston really needs to get a stop here. Blackburn puts him in the spin cycle, and that will be it. That will be the game. The Arlington Raiders steal the Boston Brawlers home game from them. Boston will drop to 2-4. The Arlington Raiders jump to 5-1. The Toledo Timberwolves will need to respond to be the second best team in the league. Obviously, as far as division goes, the Toledo Timberwolves are number 1 in the East. The Raiders continue their streak in the West. But if the Honolulu Waves want to be able to catch up to the Raiders, they're going to need to win against the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves more than happy to sit at 4-1, potentially 4-2. As far for them, it's going to be basically impossible for them to not get into the playoffs. And I think it actually is physically impossible for them to not get in the playoffs. So here's the game MVPs. Blackburn, the running back, 24 rushes, 120 yards, and a touchdown. Defensively, you have the TFL and 6 tackles from Mr. Maxwell, the linebacker. Jeremiah Stewart, 13 for 34, 134 yards. Jake McGrew was looking for 2 touchdowns, was unable to get it. 13 for 27, 129 yards. Look at the game stats here. Snyder, obviously also the rushing offensive leader, MVP, 17 for 101 yards. Defensively, though, Pullman had 1 sack, 2 TFLs, and 3 tackles on the defensive line. As far as stats here go, McGrew barely getting up there with 74 QBR. Hughes ended the day with negative 1 yards on 3 receptions. Not exactly the stat line you want to see. But of course, you can see in the pass attack, Drake, Best, and Harden are some of the best receivers. And Boston really only had Newsome. That was quite literally half of their passing offense. So head on over to team stats. And of course, Arlington rushing the ball a lot more. Boston having to pass a lot more. Total yards, though, almost indistinguishable. The scary part, to be honest. 4 sacks for Boston, only 1 for Arlington. 2 turnovers for Boston that sealed their fate. Head on over to the player stats now. Jake McGrew, obviously, the rushing stats here. Drake leading with 5 receptions on 6 targets for 32 yards. And, of course, Adrian Love with the lone 1 reception on 5 attempts. My goodness. Of course, Best over here with 7 targets on 2 receptions. Defensively, of course, Eddie Maxwell, the defensive MVP for Arlington. Sack-wise is Raymond Truitt, the only lone sack for Arlington. Lots of TFLs here, deflected passes, forced fumbles, 2 by Washington and O'Reilly, and 2 recoveries by Maxwell and Lay. Blackburn with 5 punt returns and 4 kick returns, but Luke Gross had a random kick return at some point. Interesting. Paulo Almeida, perfect on the day, 2 for 2 on extra points and field goals. Punts, Shores had 2 touchbacks, but 2 inside the 20. And you head on over to Boston, and of course Boston, their obvious stats here. Newsome 3 for 7 on 64. If only he could catch more. Creighton went 0 for 7. Parker 1 for 5. Hughes 3 for 5. I mean, the only good guy here was Tadlock, who went 3 for 35. I mean, I'd have just thrown to Tadlock all day if I could have. Obviously, Woodworth leading the team in tackles. Toller with 2 sacks. Pullman, White, obviously rounding out that stat line. Pullman with the 2 TFLs. Lawrence with 3 deflected passes, no forced fumbles, no fumble recoveries. Minks with 2 punt returns and 5 kick returns. A lot of work on the kick return day. Of course, Getz with 4 field goals, no extra points because nobody could score. But of course, punt-wise, Stewart was just, he was there. He punted. No inside the 20, but no touchbacks either. So That'll be it. I will see you all next time for the next GFL game that I will commentate. Until then, enjoy the next 2 games. I will see you all next time.